So what we're going to do is take the charm that we got in the Ashina Outskirts episode, and we're going to place it on this statue next to the sculptor. It'll take us back 3 years ago into the Hirata Estate. This will just open up a whole other part of the game. It is optional, but it's very well worth being here. There's a lot of great items, and a couple of sub-bosses, and of course a main boss. So we'll go ahead and get our idol, start heading down the path. It's sort of a tricky descent here, just a couple of grapples onto these branches. Go ahead and work your way down nice and easy. A little bit of dialogue here if you want to get a little bit of backstory of what's happening. Next we'll head over to the bridge, and we'll be introduced to the burning effect if you haven't seen it already in the game. Depending on how early you get here, how late you get here. A lot of drops will give you dowsing powder. There's also one back here. Work your way all the way across the bridge. And we're just going to go up this hill and up and over that closed door there. There's our next idol. We'll be able to move right along from here. A few more enemies down this line here. It's just an alleyway. They're all kind of right in a row for us. Not too bad at all. You'll see this broken area on the right. This is sort of where we want to head to next. A lot more enemies down here. Just take your time and run through all them. Once you're done with that, we're going to go up and over. You'll see this branch up here you can grapple up to. This is the next little sort of like village we want to be in. A lot of enemies in here. Take your time through here. There's a lot to deal with. It can get a little hectic pretty quickly, but this fire that they're all sitting next to is exactly where we want to be. Take your time, get rid of everyone around here. There's a lot of items to pick up. The one we want is this flame barrel. That'll go into our prosthetic. Just keep heading right up the path, and it'll branch up here. I usually go to the left first, just because of yet another item I'd like to pick up. You're going to go up high and see these two bandits just kind of talking to each other. That little building they're next to has another item for us. Once you've taken care of them, go ahead and open it up. You'll get your axe. That'll also be another prosthetic for you. And then once we head back out, we can just keep going up the path. If you go back and load in your axe, it'll be more helpful. I didn't, and you'll have to end up fighting these shield characters a little bit like this. It's not recommended. It's much easier with the axe. They'll block just about everything you throw, so you got to kind of work around them or run right by them. Choice is yours. As we get farther up here, we'll find our first sub-boss. He's surrounded by just a few people. Nothing too bad, but it is helpful if you can take him out beforehand. If you don't have the Makiri counter at this point, this fight might be a little annoying. We want to mostly counter all these thrusts. Just keep the pressure on him, keep hitting that counter, and this fight gets over with pretty quickly. You'll get your prayer bead, and then we can just keep pushing forward. Another idol for you here. Get back any resurrective nodes, anything like that. A lot of archers up here. We're going to work our way across the bridge. This big guy here with the club is very nasty. I'm just going to kind of run through here for expediency's sake. So we'll find Owl sitting here amidst the flames. You'll get a little bit of dialogue, and he'll give you the key to get farther in up ahead here. Go ahead and just work your way through this little bit of like grappling here. The fire kind of cuts off all of our path. You don't have to do it the way I just did. There was another area to grapple up higher there. This is just the way I do it. Just a couple enemies here. A couple sitting in a cave over here on the right. Those archers earlier had me hurting, so a little pellet there. Take care of these enemies in the cave, and we'll find ourselves getting to this sort of like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like a triangle jump, like an old Ninja Gaiden jump. Work your way back up. And then just up here to the right is our next idol. We'll go ahead and sit at that, get rested up for the next fight. Okay, once you're done through here, you're just going to come out, take care of the archers first if you can. There's a fair amount of enemies up here. Really nice little spot to farm, though, if you're that close to your next skill point, anything like that. If you can take care of the archers first, the melee fights are nice and easy, but those archers can really be a pain. I do have my Mortal Blade at this point, so obviously I utilize that when I can. Alright, once those are all taken care of, we can just keep pushing through. In the water over here, there's just a little item to pick up. If you go all the way around, you'll kind of come to this this character that's just kind of hanging up on the bank. He will help us later on in the fight, but I like to go left. I'll show you here in a second. He's right down there. You can use him in the next fight to help you, which is really pretty great. All those enemies guarding the entrance to where we want to be is who we have to fight next. I like to go left. This is the best way I've found to do it, as far as just thinning out the herd, and getting an extra little puppeteer in there gives us another ally. Once you've taken care of these enemies, just push down this little walk here. It's this guy right here with the shield that I like to puppet. Just because he'll pull all the aggro for me, I can kind of take out a lot more of the other enemies without really being bothered too much. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and pick up your buddy, get him into the fight, and then we'll take care of Juzo the Drunkard here. The way I like to do it is to just sort of get my hits in while I can, as long as I do still have an ally on the field. When it comes down to fighting him one-on-one, it's a little different. There's our first death blow. Luckily, my ally is still alive. It's not always the case, just depends on how many times you have to run it. A lot of sweeping attacks. He will spit poison. He'll imbue his sword with poison. You see the poison spit there. Pretty rough if you stay in too long, so I like to hit and move a lot with him. Now that ally's still with us, he can pull a little bit of aggro. He'll keep turning his back on you a lot. These grabs are lethal. Watch for those. Those are... I mistake them for Makiri counters a lot, and I've played this a lot of times, and I still do it. There's our last death blow. We'll get our prayer bead. We're almost done here, folks. Just our main boss fight coming up. A couple of little things to pick up, and we'll be on our way. We'll run through this little house here. I want to get this idol, but I'm actually going to go backwards from it in just a moment here. So as you go backwards, you go all the way to the backside here. You can go down the hallway on our now right. It would be the left as you come in. A couple of items to pick up here. What I want is the end of this hall where these two bandits are. And there's this wall here at the end of the hallway here. I want to just hug, open up a room. I'll just spin right around for you. Good number of items in here to pick up. Get a little money. And then right through here, we'll just sort of break everything. It's right back here that I want to break all this down. There's a nice little chest for us here. Get us a prayer bead. And we'll be on our way. I think that makes 3 prayer beads so far for this area. We'll get a snap seed from this guy here. We'll need this for our next fight. If you have any before coming in, that's even better. So if you're having trouble with this Lady Butterfly fight, I definitely recommend bringing a few more snap seeds. With her fight, I just kind of keep pressure. It's a lot like the Genichiro fight to me. I get this 1, 2, 3 kind of rhythm going. When she heavy deflects, I'll start my deflections. There's that heavy deflect, and then I start mine. So we just kind of trade back and forth, posture for posture. I get my hits in when I can. 1, 2, 3. Then I start my deflections. I just kind of keep her busy. Don't let her do too much that you don't want her to do. She'll fly all over the place. She'll float up on her kunais. She'll do a lot of these slams. Just get those hits in one at a time when you can. Start that rhythm. The first phase goes relatively quickly. The reason I threw that shuriken is every now and again when it's timed right, you can actually knock her down from those kunais. 1, 2, 3. There's our first death blow. The second phase is relatively the same. She'll jump down from this statue, but now her phantom kunais will have like these butterflies behind them. They have a bit of a track to them. They do a little bit of damage, even if you deflect. So there's a little chip damage there. I usually just keep the rhythm. She'll cast these illusions. That's what the snap seeds are for. So basically just kind of keep her busy. Just herd up all those illusions into one little group. Usually the center works fine. Snap your seed and they'll all disappear. If you don't have one, they'll all turn into butterflies, and the mostly just laps around the room will help, but they'll track you pretty hard. They can do a lot of damage. Just keeping up that rhythm. The process for me is mostly the same. You just have to dodge these new butterflies. 3. There's that chip damage that you can see from that deflection. She had cast another set of illusions, so we're just going to get rid of those. We're almost done this fight here. I almost always can get a hit in after those slams. And there you have it. You just got to grind it out, keep her busy, try that rhythm. Hopefully it works for you. It works nice for me. And you will get your Lady Butterfly memory and a Sakura droplet. That'll give us another resurrection node. And that's it for the Hirata Estate. I did not pick up the Mist Raven feathers, but we can do a video about that sometime if that's something you'd like. Next up, we'll get back into the main story. We'll head into the Corrupted Monk and Guardian Ape fights and start closing out this game. We're getting into like the last act here. So anybody that stuck with it from the beginning, thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, folks.